It's Mocking With You, the podcast that settles the debates once and for all, with your host, Lil B, and the hater.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Mocking With You podcast. We are bringing you our Black Monday chop and block predictions. Obviously, we're a little early, but we have a huge lineup coming up for the 2025 year. So we're going to go ahead and jump on this early. Why not try to predict it before it a week or two before it happens? At this point,
a little early, but okay.
Yeah, but there's not much. I don't think there's any coaches that could do anything right now to save their job.
I think there's more coaches that can hurt their job than.
I say that there's a coach that I might protect because of he's doing enough. His team's looking good enough to save his job.
His team's looking good enough. Oh, I think I'm talking about who I think you're talking about. I don't want to give it away, but
yeah, but. Obviously, there's already three firings in the NFL. Started off with Matt Eberflus of the Chicago Bears, smart fire there. Then you also have good old I'm blanking out on names. I was just thinking about them.
the boy,
Oh God, who is it all?
Robert Saleh.
Robert Saleh from the New York Jets. That's all on the owner there. Woody Johnson's a joke of an owner. He allows his sons to make decisions off of Madden ratings. Let's just leave that at that. And then you also have who's the third and final? I'm always skipping.
Dennis Allen, the favorite guy.
Yeah. So Dennis Allen from the New Orleans Saints got fired. He should have never been hired again. He was a horrible head coach for the Raiders. I know Chris liked him as a potential rehire because he thought he never had a great chance. He was never good.
Hey, when you look the Raiders and the Jets, did a mulligan. But not again.
I think Robert Saleh is currently working for the Green Bay Packers as an analyst or a specialist. We hired him. I definitely think he has a chance of landing as a DC somewhere this offseason. I think teams will jump all over him. He had a great defense even when he was in New York. His defense fell apart after he left too. I don't know if everybody noticed that.
Yeah, all right, dude. I think it's hilarious that the whole thing just collapsed into itself.
Yeah.
Whole Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, we want to joke. We want to joke about freaking how bad the Chicago Bears organization is, which is it's an utter joke as well. But right now the Jets are it's right there with each other. But let's go ahead. Let's get straight into this. We're doing 10, 5 each. We predict OCs, GMs, whoever is just fire safe or how we want to do it. It's not all going to be head coaches. It could be some general managers in there as well. We could say that they're safe or they're fired. So I have picked. Actually, let's work down.
We'll start at 10.
Let's start at 10, and then you get to be the number one pick.
Okay. Well, yeah. And that's going to be people putting that. Number one putting like the number one.
Yeah. These should be on the fringe, guys, from my opinion.
You know what? I'm going to try and work with the numbers here. I'm not going to try and steal the number one pick. I'm going to work with the numbers, but I'm still going to go with something that's kind of easy. So I'm going to go with the Las Vegas Raiders.
Okay. You're going to go with the Antonio Pierce?
And I'm going to say... Yeah, Antonio Pierce on the head coach. And I'm going to say Bayern.
I don't think you gave him no quarterback at all. Nothing. You gave him a horrible roster. What did you expect him to do year one?
They fired the GM and he called it next.
Well, we all know who their GM is.
Oh.
You know him very well there, Chris.
Yeah, you know what? I should have picked the GM first. Darn.
Yeah, and everybody doesn't know it's Tom Telesco, the GM of like 12 years for the Los Angeles Chargers. He got immediately hired after doing nothing for the Chargers. The Raiders were like, yes, Let's be mediocre, below mediocre.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they
They're
did.
more than mediocre. They're terrible.
I was going to actually keep him. That was one. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this because I think he's on the hot seat. So I'm going to go with the New England Patriots.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go with the head coach. Obviously, that's Gerard Mayo, and I'm calling him safe.
And Gerard Mayo is safe.
Yes, because I think they have a good base. They have Drake May that's going to potentially be a franchise-saving quarterback, it looks like. No weapons on that. The defense has played well. That team, another roster that is poorly constructed. That team needs a lot, but it looks like they got it with Drake May. I like Gerard Mayo. He's done enough. I just think I don't feel like you could fire a head coach after 1 year with a horrible roster with a rookie coach or a rookie quarterback. It's rookie coach, rookie quarterback. I don't think that's fair. I feel like
people are like nitpicking his press conferences.
Yeah.
Like, he don't say enough. He doesn't say the right things. Well, Bill Belichick never said anything right for 15 years and he won 7 Super Bowls. Like,
yeah. I think Gerard Mayo, and it's the New England Patriots. They still have Robert Kraft. They still have the same general manager in aspect. I'm blanking out on his name. He's the son of the Packers general manager forever who traded for
Ron Wolf.
Ron Wolf's brother. Elliott Wolf is the quote-unquote general manager of the New England Patriots. I think they're all going to stay in the aspect of, hey, we're building something here. We like Gerard. He was a great player from us. He's been a great coach from us. We like what he's doing. Let's just keep moving forward and build. And it would be very uncharacteristic of the Patriots to fire their first coach after 1 year, after replacing Bill Belichick and drafting a rookie quarterback. So safe.
It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense.
Yeah, so I'm saying.
I know the Raiders doesn't make sense, but it's the Raiders. It's dysfunctional.
Yeah.
And that thing about Tom Brady just gotten the ownership of the team. He may want to, get in the ear of the owner and be like, hey, let's do something else. This is not working.
First, you got to start with the general manager. Tom Telesco was a horrible hire.
All right, it's my turn, and I get to hit my former GM, and I get to fire his ass again.
He's going straight to the Raiders and firing Tom Telesco. We spent enough time talking about Telesco. We don't have to sit here.
Tom Telesco, we thank you for your now. We don't really thank you for your service. Kindly pack your stuff and get out.
Yeah, he should have never been hired. He had 10 years plus with the Chargers. He did nothing with the Chargers. Like he had 3 head coaching hires that were all bad. He had he had a couple. Yeah, he got Herbert. Like that's his claim to fame, Justin Herbert. Like that's all.
Justin Herbert and like a slam dunk hit. Like anybody hit Justin Herbert.
Yeah, I mean he for the most part he made a lot of bad trades. I mean he got Khalil Mack, which isn't worked out for the most part. And did he draft Joey or was that before him?
Yeah, no, sure.
But again, the top picks he got right. Everywhere else when he was on the bottom half failed miserably. Like Kenneth Murray, trading back in for Murray, trading, all these boneheaded decisions that he made. He has a long resume of being bad.
Trading into the first round for a running back.
Yeah. Like he just made so many boneheaded decisions and bad decisions and a long enough career to say, hey, he's not good. And to be immediately hired again that quick after being bad for so long.
Go ahead and keep talking and we just look it up and see what his picks were. Actually, I'll go ahead and give you another team while you're picking your guy on your next team.
I can go ahead and jump in there and do it while you look that up. I have control too. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to my favorite team that I've been talking about a lot. It's a guy that makes no sense that he still has a job. And we're going to jump down to New Orleans. And we're going to talk about another manager here. And we're going to talk about Mickey Loomis. He should be fired into the sun like no other. This gentleman has been the general manager of the New Orleans Saints since 2003. So he has 23 years plus on his record as the general manager of this team. And he has one Super Bowl win, and 3 NFC Championship appearances in that time frame. That is it. Tell me how a general manager who is always on the bottom one. He's always the 32nd team in cap space. Every year he is scrambling to cut players and reconstruct contracts for this roster. Have a job after 20 years. He's never winning. He's mediocre at best every year. I truly feel bad for the New Orleans Saint fans out there because as long as Mickey Loomis is the general manager, they will never get the head coaching hire, right? They'll never get the draft picks, right? This guy drafted Trevor Penning. But I mean, yeah, he had 1 year where he got Lattimore. They traded Lattimore for nothing, for chips. And then they
Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, they got Alvin Kamara. Luckily, Drew Brees decided to sign with them, so he never got he never had to worry about the quarterback. But again, never won with Drew Brees, arguably a top 10 greatest quarterback of all time. I would not ever argue him in top 5. But it's just but this general manager has done nothing right. I mean, he's just cap space issues, contract issues, free agent issues, drafting issues. The dude has been in power for 20. What kind of dirt does Mickey Loomis have on the organization of the New Orleans Saints and the owner of the Saints to still be in power of this team? The Saints will have no success until Mickey Loomis is gone. Literally, the New Orleans Saints have 90 million below the cap. Like they need to cut and make up $90 million in cap.
How are they in so much red?
It's every year. Every year with these Saints, they're always the lowest team in they need a cut or reconstruction every season. Like this man needs to be shut. Like it is a time for a complete reboot and rebuild. Like the Saints fans, I'm sorry. It is time to just literally be the Detroit Lions and just cap space it. Just get rid of all your big nasty contracts. Be horrible for a couple of years. And just
I think they might. There's rumors that Alvin Kamara might get traded, but
he reconstructed his contract in the middle of the season.
Oh, well,
so I mean, it doesn't mean he can't be traded, but he did rework his contract in the middle of the year. So, but the Saints have a lot of issues, and Mickey Loomis is the major one because they got rid of Dennis Allen. So it's time to get rid of the general manager and find somebody new.
So what makes you think that they're not in the fire Mickey Loomis? I don't think the fact that he's still there.
He's still my predictions is that he should be fired, but most Saints fans says he's going to be safe, and that's just sad. Really, I would put safe, but I'm putting this out there for our Saints fans and Moss and everybody that's in the chat who's Tails. I'm hoping for you guys. I really truly feel I sent you a text earlier this week. I truly feel bad for the Chicago Bears, the New York Jets, and the New Orleans Saints. Their organizations have horrible owners that will just fans. They have no hope. It's going to be the same stuff year in and year out, and it just why you have hope for no reason. And
it was like we were talking about. Maybe we can do this on the Super Bowl. During the Super Bowl, we can do the top 10 worst franchises in the league. The Jets, the Raiders,
the Bears,
the Saints, the Bears,
the Browns.
All of them have always, the Browns. Terrible.
But
how?
Yeah. Did you get the list?
And so here, by the way, I'm looking at his draft, and I'm like, oh, okay, ooh, wow. So, again, I'm kind of confused with the third pick, but Brock Bowers, Jackson Powers Johnson, Jamar Lane.
You didn't draft. Oh, his last draft, he did get Brock Bowers. Mm-hmm.
The Martin Richardson, Tommy Eichenberg, Dylan Littleton, Trey Taylor, and NJ Dennisfire. That's a good draft.
This last one.
Mm-hmm.
But you never know. That's the problem. You really don't know.
Like, we're not in the know for a while.
Yeah.
Like, Brock Bowers has been good.
Yeah, Brock
He's had
Bowers.
no clue of that.
Brock Bowers should probably be Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, he's been so good, but that didn't have no clue of that.
Yeah, and the problem, like, Brock Bowers is doing that nothing that any tight end has ever done, and he's going to get overshadowed by Jaden Daniels, who's having a good year as a rookie, but not like it's not elite, stellar, amazing. Like
it's not like nothing Herbert looking new.
And I love Jaden. We all know that.
Yeah,
but
no.
What Brock Bowers is doing is more impressive than what Jaden Daniels is doing. Is all.
Yeah, and he's doing it with nothing.
No, it's nothing.
He can't throw himself the ball.
And I'm not a tight end guy. Like in the first round.
I know. Remember, like, you know, all mad about Brock Bowers for not going to the first round. Well, this is what you said on you.
Yeah, every year. Like this is what everybody wants some of those tight ends that go high to be. And remember, Brock didn't go in the top 10, didn't he? Fall into like
he went in the top 15 or top
higher than I would take him, but he was 13th overall.
Mm-hmm.
He has 101 receptions, 1,067 yards, but only 4 touchdowns because bad quarterback. But still, 101 receptions and 1,000 receptions.
101,
Rookie of the year.
That's a lot of receptions.
But yeah,
he's pretty much lived up to the hype.
But again, like you said, clear cut, easy picks. He gets right.
Yeah, again, like I don't have to think too hard. Brock Bowers, okay, that's the pick. I don't have to think too hard. That's what Alex Johnson. He's been playing multiple positions.
He's been bad though. He's been bad. He's made a lot of mistakes. Yeah, he's not been great.
Well, I'm not talking about the Raiders and the terrible. But
I didn't like him coming out. Remember, he was one I didn't. I was very low on Jackson.
I like him. I still do, but I don't like them either. All right. So what's in my pick? It's my turn. It's hard.
Yeah, it's getting. This is like I said. There's not a lot of like obvious fires right now.
All right, Jacksonville.
Oh, you're gonna go here. I thought this was a clear cut. Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm letting it go.
What? No, there's no way. No,
I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. He's fired. He's fired. There ain't no way he's safe.
I loved him. Remember, I thought it was a horrible decision to fire him in Philadelphia, and I love this hiring for the Jacksonville. But
we all like the hire. We all thought it great.
I have no idea what happened to Doug here in Jacksonville. I talk about another badly ran franchise.
Yeah, so again, it probably put them on the top 10. So like, you know what happened to Doug? The Jacksonville Jaguars happened to Doug.
Yeah. They just sounded good because you had Travis Etienne, you had Trevor Lawrence, they had all the wide receivers. They just, they had all why they just could. Did Urban Meyer that 1 year just destroy that organization that bad?
I mean, he took to the playoffs and the Chargers.
No, he didn't. Urban Meyer never even made. Are you talking about?
I meant that Peterson did.
Yeah, I mean,
took him to the playoffs, but
yeah, I just don't know.
And then we all thought all right, that was got something.
Yeah.
And then the bottom fell out.
Yeah. So
and Lynn did the bottom fall out. I don't know.
Paying Trevor Lawrence that contract when he's never really done it. That's the problem. It's like Trevor Lawrence has been better than Daniel Jones, but hasn't been great. And to pay him, it's just that mistake again. Just because you have a quarterback that can throw you 20 touchdowns but throws 10 interceptions, should you really pay him? Franchise, I think these teams have to learn. It's almost not just worthy of punting these quarterbacks even though they've been semi-okay, like they're, bottom half starters.
Like
16, 17, do you really pay them the money because there's no better options? Or do you just move on and rebuild? I think teams need to start learning that, like the Giants. There's no reason to pay Daniel Jones. I don't think Miami, you should have paid Tua because Tua's proven it multiple years. But Trevor really never put it all together.
So here's another thing. Remember when you go back to the draft and we're going to look at the number 1 overall pick and yeah. And I remember I was a fan of him. I don't know but that pick has not worked out.
Of who? Walker?
That linebacker. Coming out of that Trayvon Walker has not worked out.
No, he has not, but he's had a better year than you think he's had. Because yeah, he actually has. Because I was thinking the same, but I went and looked at it this last year. He currently has 8.5 sacks, and he had 10 last year. So he's.
Well, I'm sorry, but you don't draft the guy number 1 overall. Draft him, but he played a lot.
Yeah, I'm not arguing you, but he's been better than what I thought he was
going to be. He's been better. He has gotten better.
He's not been Aiden Hutchinson game-changing different.
No. Which is why he picked a number 1 overall player.
Yes, correct. 100%.
Mario Williams wasn't that great.
Trayvon Walker was always a second, third round guy, project guy, or late burst kind of development. But then he had that freaking miraculous, amazing was it the combine? He had his combine. Everybody's combine, his numbers are so amazing. And then it's first round pick overall. He's how does a guy go?
We got Aaron Curry all over again.
Yeah, exactly. But we're going to go ahead. I'm going to move on to
who do you want now?
I'm going to go ahead and pick. Talking about earlier when we first started. It's been talked about, as a team that he needs to be fired. If I can get on there we go. I'm jumping down to Dallas. Ooh. I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the head coach.
No.
Cooper Rush has been playing very well. They have been eliminated. Yes, I understand that the Dallas Cowboys have been eliminated from the playoffs this year. But since everything has happened, they have been on a good little winning streak. The Dallas Cowboys have now won 2 in a row. They're I'm trying to find the record. I'm doing this too much. They're jumping around. They're 7-8 now. They can end the season as a winning record at 9-7 if they win out. They've had they had no running back this year. And they've always been a big running back team. They go into the season with old Ezekiel Elliott, Dalvin Cook on the practice squad, and Rico Dowdle, who's never been amazing or otherworldly. It was weird for them.
What were they thinking? They're how can we set Mike McCarthy up with the biggest failure in Cowboys history?
Yeah. And then no wide receivers besides CD. Turpin is a good, speed guy who does.
Right.
Yeah, but they have a bunch of 3-4 guys. They don't have a solid number 2 besides Lamb. So
the one guy. What's that one guy from Liberty or?
What are you saying?
The one guy from Liberty. What's that guy's name? Hold on.
They don't have a guy from Liberty.
Not Liberty.
They have Jalen Tolbert.
Tolbert.
He's from South Alabama.
That's right. Okay.
But Jalen Tolbert, again, a 3-4 guy.
All right.
Guy. Turpin, another guy. He's just a speedy guy that's good.
And they had Gallup, right? They had Michael Gallup and
no, did he get hurt? I thought did he walk away in the offseason? I couldn't remember what happened to it. But again, that's my point. There's a lot of things with that roster. And then plus Parsons missed a whole bunch of time this year. Their secondaries. Again, a lot of excuses, but he's turned a ship. He's a solid coach. as long as Jerry Jones is the general manager, he has a playoff winning coach, a Super Bowl winning coach, and he likes Mike McCarthy. And also, they lost Dak.
Well, they had Brandon Cooks. Yeah, they lost that.
Again, Brandon Cooks hasn't been the same for many years. That's my point. They don't have like this roster needs a couple pieces here and there and to be healthy. But them getting Cooper Rush. Look, Cooper Rush has been fantastic these last couple weeks. So, and now CD Lamb is on the IR for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So I think Mike McCarthy if Mike McCarthy at least wins 1 of 2 and ends the season at like 8-9 or 9-8, he's safe. And he goes on to next year, and they just try to do some stuff this offseason.
That's not the year that fire would die.
And exactly. That's one thing we did not talk about at the beginning of this podcast. This is one of the worst years for this head coaching cycle. So, like, there's just like it's Ben Johnson or bust.
Like Ben Johnson, and honestly, you really want that guy from the Texans now? Like,
yeah, Ben Solik.
Yeah. Like who could have taken a big step backwards?
He's having. I'm good. I still believe in CJ. I think it's a sophomore slump.
It's a sophomore slump for sure. Like it was bound to happen. There was no way you can have the season that CJ Stroud had last year and not have some kind of regression this year. It's a big regression, but.
Yeah, it has been a big regression. But, I mean, it's really, if you look at it, you got – I mean, people might like and fall in love with the Joe Brady, the Bills offensive coordinator.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I don't like – I mean, maybe the Panthers defensive coordinator, Evero, might finally get his shot.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Freeman was a talk about, but he signed the big contract with Notre Dame. He's not going anywhere. Ben Johnson maybe Mike Kafka finally gets a shot because people have been talking about Kafka forever.
Yeah,
it's an ugly year, is all I'm saying.
We're going to the end.
Oh, God. What are you going to do here? There's an obvious answer, so I'm curious what you say.
Putting Taylor on the hot seat.
Zach Taylor.
Zach Taylor on the hot seat, and he is safe.
Yeah.
Oh, they're not going to fire him at all. They hit the little Marvin Lewis forever.
Yeah.
Mr. Mediocre.
Again, he's doing enough. He's another guy that if they win out, I mean, and look at what Joe Burrow is doing. That's going to be their argument. Joe Burrow
is the argument that he's in the MVP.
Exactly. I mean, Joe Burrow has done everything that he needs to, but this defense has been horrendous.
Yeah. I feel like that was another one I thought of that I might put him on the hot seat. But
yeah, he's a guy that was
one more hit.
Like a head coach candidate for years, and now he probably should be fired as the defensive coordinator for the Bengals after this season. But I'm sticking to it. We got a couple obvious ones that we need to get in here, so I got to make sure. So I'm gonna jump down once it updates for me, and I'm gonna go to the same city or the same state, but a different city, and I'm jumping down to Cleveland.
Ooh.
I'm going to talk about the head coach and Kevin Stefanski. Yeah. So I truly think he should be fired. But because of this cycle and there's nothing going out there, he keeps his job for another year.
We got 5 fires. We got 3 head coaching fires.
Again, more I think about it, he's fired. It's the Browns. If the Browns were smart, they keep him because it's a horrible cycle. But it's the Browns. I talked myself into it.
It's the Browns. And then the Browns. So I was sitting here and I'm like, yeah, a good organization would not fire him. But the Browns.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. That my thinking exactly. But I was like, no.
So what would a devil organization do? They would keep him. They don't just let him hang.
I mean,
Let him hang out for the 1 year.
They've already declared that Deshaun Watson's the guy next year. So why, like,
What?
yeah, they've already said that Watson's the guy for next year. So
God, if I was Evan Stefanski, I just like want out.
they can't get out of that contract as a fully guaranteed. So
I mean, you know what? At this point, I'm just dumping them. Just dump them. There's no matter what you have to pay them.
yeah,
I just want them off my team.
yeah, get him off your team. But yeah, Kevin would be a quick hire. He could be a quick rehire as a head coach. Some team could go out there and say, "Well, look what he's done for Cleveland," and he could be rehired this offseason. I wouldn't be shocked. But he
And won the playoff game.
Yeah, in Cleveland. So, but I would highly expect him to be rehired as an offensive coordinator by one of these new head coaches.
Yeah, I have a hold
There's two obvious.
One
clear, obvious one I've left up there for you.
It's a San Francisco.
You jumping down to San Fran?
I don't know.
There's only one obvious one left, so I'm curious.
Ooh.
I forgot we talked about him.
I haven't been in the audience, but I'm going to take a left turn and think about this for a second. And we talk about how massively overrated he is.
Yeah, it's definitely something that needs to be talked about with Mike McDaniel. He's going to be a great OC, but when it comes to beating winning teams, Mike McDaniel can't beat winning teams.
What is he like?
He's like 2-30, isn't he? Like his
2-30.
It's ridiculous. Like, hold on, I know that's out there.
Pull the stat up, but so again, like we have an owner that is willing. Well, let's talk about the fact that Miami has not been the best run organization. But then they're up and down. And Chris Lear, who is also the GM, is under some fire as well. Like the trades that he has made to get Tyreek Hill, Jalen Ramsey, they really haven't seen, but like Hill has worked out. Ramsey, he's all right. But Jalen Ramsey's no longer the best corner in the league. I don't even know if he's top 5 anymore.
Yeah, Jalen Ramsey's always been overrated in my eyes. But so I thought it was worse than what it was, but he is 3-13 against winning teams.
That's still not good. That includes the playoff game.
Yeah, and then he's 23-9 against teams below 500. So if he plays teams against below 500 all year long, he's going to be great. But he doesn't.
I'm thinking about this. Like, if I'm Miami, who can I get? Well, obviously, if you're doing this, if you're firing Mike McDaniels, you're saying, all right, so we're done.
Like my brother said when we talked about this on the chat, is Mike McDaniel's tied with Tua, and Tua's tied with Mike McDaniel.
Yeah. The one in the same, like, if they fire Tua, if they fire Mike McDaniels,
they just gave the contract, though.
Like, that's why I'm thinking, like, as much as the Miami Dolphins fans have been clamoring for him to be fired and they want the GM fired, I just don't think that at this time they're going to fire him, and I'm going to save him space.
Yeah, I think Mike McDaniel's safe. I just think.
Look at one more year. Look at one more year.
Add his position in the hot staff.
You know what? That's what. If he's been winning from Madden, he might be in line for a head coaching job next year in the NFL.
Yeah. Alrighty. So obviously we jump up to a city we've already talked about. We're going to talk about its sister brother organization. We're going to jump up to the New York Giants. We're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about the head coach. So here's the problem. Before we talk about predictions of safe or fired, we got good old owner, the Moonies, the Mayors. We have the Mayors. They've already came out and they said that this
is John Mara?
John Mara, thank you, has said that this is the staff. He believes in the general manager, Joe Sheen, and the head coach, Brian Daboll. I truly believe Brian Daboll is a good coach and could be a good head coach. Look, you gave him Daniel Jones, and he made so here's my problem with this organization is I think Brian Daboll should be saved because I think he's a good head coach. But the problem is it's the general manager. This general manager is a fool. Like, he didn't want to pay Barkley money. Barkley is arguably the offensive player of the year, MVP candidate, running back. Eric Dickerson.
Eric Dickerson.
Yeah. Like, let him walk. Okay. Well, we don't want to pay Barkley because we don't want to pay a running back. So we'll sign.
Right. I understand that.
I don't. Not when you have nothing else on that offense. Makes no sense. Not when he.
No. That's what I don't understand. They didn't bring nothing in. They just said, "Okay, buy Barkley," and then they just got nothing. They didn't get anything.
Singletary to be. Yep, you're gonna you're gonna help our offense and keep us productive. No, and then you're like, oh, you know what? We don't want to pay Xavier McKinney money. Oh, and now he's second in the interceptions in the NFL with the Green Bay Packers. Thank you. I'll take it all day long. Like, he doesn't want to pay guys, but then he goes and gives John Runyon Jr. like $14 million a year as a guard, and he was never that good. Like, me and Mike were blown away by the money that was given to John Runyon Jr. And then the right tackle they gave money from Umalora. Like, he signs bad players to a lot of money, but doesn't sign his good players the money.
Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, and then he got burnt. He got burns, but that was easy because whatever. But it just dumb.
Daniel Jones. We literally gave Daniel Jones a giant contract and said bye Barkley.
Yeah,
when we could have done the opposite.
You're the decision maker. You said you played so bad, Daniel Jones, that we're not going to give you the 5th-year option. So we're gonna waive that 5th-year option because you played so bad and we don't want you on this team. Oh, you had 20 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. Oh, we didn't give you that 5th-year option. Now we have to decide to pay you $40 million because you had one okay season instead of letting you walk or transition tag or franchise tag for a year.
And then the minute for 1 year of the contract.
And then you're like, well, we can't franchise tag Barkley again because instead of paying Barkley, we franchise Joe Sheen. Horrible general manager, should be shot into the moon, sun, and never be a general manager in the NFL again. The decision making he's done, but this is a 2-for-1, because we have no more space. Brian Daboll is going to be fired, but Daboll's fired. Joe Sheen's fired. I understand what Maya said, or John Mayer said, or Maya said, whatever his fucking name is. That this is his roster, but they haven't proved anything to you. Like, they haven't turned the ship. They haven't done anything. They played worse. They're both. If Daboll
goes, to play out that 1 year and then it's just been an utter collapse ever since.
Yeah,
kind of like Jacksonville.
Yeah, so this is a fired, and like I said, this is a 2-for-1. The whole organization will be fired, like front office and coaching.
Unreal. Next year we're gonna have her do a combo deal.
Yeah, I really like.
We need a combo.
I truly think Dayball is one of those guys that's going to be a Dan Quinn, a retread head coach in a couple of years. He'll have to go OC, prove that he's a great OC again, and he's going to be a head coach. I truly believe he'll be a head coach again.
You know what? Brian Dablow will be in Dallas.
I would like, this, how bad of a coaching cycle this is that the Packers Packers offensive coordinator, who doesn't even call plays, Adam Stenovich, is being talked about for a head coach.
No. Well, if we did a hiring show, I would never hire a Packers offensive coordinator ever.
It's never worked out. Joe Philbin and Nathaniel Hackett have not worked out. But as a Packer fan, please hire Adam Stenovich so I can go hire Brian Dayball. Because Brian Dayball with Jordan Love?
Hello.
That's all I'm saying. But I do think that's a 2 for 1. I think a lot of these are 2 for 1ers, though, to be honest with you.
Right. We didn't have to go back and do Las Vegas twice, but we did just for there's really not much to do. We could have done San Francisco, but I really don't think there's anything to that rumor. It's just a rumor.
The honorable mentions that we didn't talk about already, I mean, we hit the big ones, but you could talk about Todd Bowles in Tampa Bay. And you could talk about Dave Canales in Carolina. But Dave Canales and how Bryce Young has been playing this last, 5 weeks.
No, I didn't think it was good. As bad as that owner is in Carolina, I didn't think he was even remotely on the hot seat.
No, but it's people talking about it. So, but I think the only other big ones we didn't talk about was Todd Bowles, really.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody. I don't think you can talk about Todd Bowles because Mike Evans was out for half the year. Chris Godwin was, is horrific injury. The defense is playing well, which is what he is. So, Baker,
they're not getting blown out.
You have Baker Mayfield, quarterback. What do you?
Baker's been good.
He's been good. Don't get me wrong, but it's
it's been bad. But
what do you expect? What do you expect from this roster right now? You don't. You know what I'm saying? It's you don't have the greatest roster. So, I hate when coaches are talked about. And let me just say this before we sign off. It's a little rant. Sorry, folks. We got our predictions. But we want to talk about, how, back in our old podcast, we had the all-time misfits. You're wearing our T-shirt. We had this podcast. We've had multiple podcasts, and we had Tyler, who's going to be a reoccurring on this when we start going here soon, more frequently. Remember how I always talked about how important a head coach was? And you guys gave me so much crap about, you put too much stock into head coaching, too much. Coaching, it doesn't matter as much. Remember these arguments that you, me, and Tyler had on the old?
We had endless arguments about how coaching doesn't matter.
Do you still believe that?
No, I still believe it.
Let's just talk about the Chicago Bears.
I'm gonna have to think about this. I'm gonna think about last night and the whole Chicago Bears season, and think about how it does matter to have to have a smart head coach that knows the game and then knows situational football. Because I feel like as a fan, you and I is better than some of these coaches.
Anthony Lynn come to mind.
Anthony Lynn, terrible.
Again, still last night, the Chicago Bears in time management. You can't tell me that
I'm sitting there this. Time out. And then 30 seconds on the clock.
You can't tell me coaching doesn't matter to players and how a team runs. You just can't. Look at what Dan Campbell has done to the Detroit Lions.
Right.
Like, it's just like poor. Do you understand? Because I just saw this stat today. Caleb Williams. Do you want to know a stat about Caleb Williams is the most sacked quarterback in the NFL, right? He's not breaking the record. He's not. All right. So the record was set by David Carr in 2002 with 76 sacks. He was sacked 76 times in a season.
The guy was molded on national television.
Randall Cunningham was sacked 72 times in 86. David Carr again was sacked 68 times in 05. It's been 19 years since a quarterback has been sacked this many times. And Caleb Williams has been sacked 67 times in this year. So, I mean, he's not good. One more game left or two more games left for him? One more game, right?
Two?
Yeah, one more game against the Packers. So he shouldn't be, unless the Packers go off for like a 12-sack game, he shouldn't beat the record.
Yeah, so, I would mightily there.
But like their O-line, the left tackle was a 5th-round pick. The left guard is undrafted. The center, undrafted. The right guard, 5th-round pick. The right tackle is a 1st-round pick. Remember when Ryan Poles was made the general manager? He said, "I'm building a team with the trenches." Has he done that?
No.
Like Ryan Poles, talking about like another one, he should not get another head coach, and he should be fired. There's no way that man has done. He's done a couple of good trades and a couple of good picks, but he's done nothing right. So that's my little rant. Coaching matters, and that's Black Monday.
Hey, let's put a little Latin on it.
Let's not.
Not Latin.
Let's not.
Latin is so pumpkin. Pumpkin.
Yeah.
Pumpkin.
Well,
And then we have to the beginning.
yeah. Well, yeah. Clemson's my only one that killed me. Okay, Clemson.
Yeah, we're about to find out about Boise State.
Boise State's gonna bam. Oh, Ashton Jetty.
The world, huh?
Tell me how another rant. How does a team make the college football playoffs because of a player, not win the Heisman, but is in the playoffs because of that player? But the team, the player that won the Heisman, didn't make the playoffs.
There was an argument we had that Colorado should have been in the playoffs. I would rather pick Colorado over SMU or who else was the team that got the butt hit?
All Colorado had to do was beat Kansas.
They did. All they had to do was beat Kansas, and they didn't do it. They didn't do it. They ended up short.
That's my point. But yeah, you have a great bracket. Great games tomorrow. Some bowl games tonight, but yeah, that's our
bowl games.
Yeah, so that's our prediction. So, but starting here at the beginning of the year, folks, just to let you know, we already got our schedule built out for the foreseeable future, and
and that's not planned.
Yeah, so we have next week is the playoff predictions, but after that, we're going into our top 10 player rankings for the 2025 NFL draft. And this year, we're starting with defense and not offense. We're going to build up to the quarterbacks. So January 4th, we'll be having your playoff predictions. And January 11th, we'll be bringing you our top 10 safeties for the 2025 NFL draft. So keep out an eye for that. It's going to be a great year coming up. We all wish you a great weekend, and we will see you next year. So everybody have a Happy New Year's, not a Merry Christmas. That already passed.
Yeah, we need to have Christmas. I hope everybody's Christmas was amazing. Have a Happy New Year, everybody. Watch them both, and eat my bracket, post it.
Thank you for listening to the Mocking You podcast. Yours truly, Lil B at Brunelli Sports and the Hater at Supercharged 33.